The story of the boy who said, I want only government job. Let's know what he is up to. Habib, working as a customer support engineer in Cisco. Perhaps he's the first visually impaired in India who has cleared mainstream CCNA certification.
My name is Sheikh Habibul Haq, and shortly I am known as Habib. And my education was completed in a special school meant for the visually impaired children. Then I went on to complete my pre-university course. Then I selected English major as my main optional in my BA, and then I went for the post-graduation studies to Mysore University, and I was graduated from that university in 2010. And after graduating, I came to Enable India for the IBM service management training, and Enable India recognized my skills, and they placed me in Cisco. And currently I am working with Cisco as a service request administrator. This role is also called as the project coordination function.
What are Habib's roles and responsibilities in Cisco?
So my job involves doing case reviews. We check the cases, and if they are not updated, that means the case which is registered by the customer, if it is not updated for some days, it means the case has not progressed. So if case has not progressed, it means it will impact company's business. So what my role as a project coordinator or service request administrator, whatever you may call it, we ensure that the case gets progressed and the solution is provided as soon as possible and as quickly as possible. At the same time, when we provide a solution for the case as quickly as possible, we should also take care that the solution is efficient, and as well as it meets the expectation of the customer. On the personal level, it helps me or other persons who are doing this job, if they are interested, to learn many technicalities and many technical factors and many product information and many technical concepts they will be able to learn, because we will be reading through the history of the case, what was the issue, how issue was analyzed, and then what solution was provided to the issue. So we have to read the entire history of the case in order to understand the history, because we have to write an email to the customer saying that what is happening, where we are now, and where we are stuck, and how much progress made. So this helps to go into the next level, that is becoming an engineer, a technical engineer, it may be customer support engineer, and even NC. It depends on how much skills we will be able to acquire from reading case notes.
How did Habib's family support him to come up in his life? Let us understand from him.
As I have said, I was blind. I lost my vision as soon as I was born. So this means there were some challenges, and thanks to my parents, they never treated me like a disabled child, and their support was fantastic, as well as very educated. Though my parents are not educated from a modern standard, they understood what I need, and to put it simply, they never treated me like a child who is different or who is awkward because of his disability. They provided full-fledged support for me, for my education. They invested in my education without any hesitation. That normally what I have observed is some parents hesitate to invest in their children's education, especially if they are disabled, supposing that thinking that they have a doubt that whether they will give it back or not. So my parents never thought in that way. And as you might know, we need a lot of technical equipments, especially costly laptops and mobile phones, which we tailor them to our needs. For example, so they are very costly. My parents invested a lot of money in them. My brother, who is also a visually impaired guy, they treated both of them equally, and we both never felt that we are being neglected and we are being treated. And I was surprised when I came out, and when I heard that some parents who have disabled children do not treat their children very well, or just they refuse to give them basic amenities. So it was surprised. I was not made to feel so. I am very happy about that. And they expected me to become a respectable citizen.
Let's understand what was Habib's goal from his childhood and was he interested in private jobs?
The thing is, they asked me, like other parents ask to their children, what is your aim? And I said to them, I will be a lecturer. Specifically, I said I will be an English lecturer, and my aim was decided when I was in the 7th standard itself. And though I am working with Cisco as a service request administrator, and I am also eligible to become a lectureship. I am University Grant Commission, UGC's conducts an examination, national eligibility test. I am NET qualified, and I am also selected for the lectureship in the Karnataka state. And Karnataka state government's centralized admission cell recently conducted the entrance test for the lecturers of pre-university, for the lecturership of pre-university colleges. So I am also selected.
How did Habib develop self-learning skill? Has he got teacher to train him on the computer? Let's know from him.
Most of the other people who are our able-bodied persons or who are well, our peers may not recognize how to teach, sometimes how to train us. So if they don't train us, it doesn't mean that we ourselves should not venture into something and should try to learn something. So the good example, I will be giving one example and will illustrate how self-learning goes and how self-learning helped me. So first time when I was doing my BA, and I lied my parents telling that I know computer, you buy me a computer, you buy a computer for me. And because as I have already told, they provided everything for me and they believed that I know how to operate computers. And in fact, my brother and I both, we didn't know how to operate computers efficiently. And our purpose to get computer was to study efficiently, because when I was doing my BA, I need to submit my assignments. So I can't ask every time others to take dictation and write it for me. And dictating a term paper or assignment is not an ordinary task, because you need to think about it and you need to make a structure of the topic, and then you have to develop it, and you have to refer to many books, and you should refer to many journals as well. So it involves a lot of research and lot of thinking. We can't dictate it spontaneously. So what I thought, I will use technology into this educational purposes. So it will empower me as well as it will make me an efficient students. We continued to experiment, and the one fortunate thing, one gift I had was about I should say about my English language skills. So every software comes with an inbuilt help files. They call it user manuals, help file, whatever, user guides. So whatever, I need to read it completely like a textbook. So I understood it. So that's how we were able to understand operate software on the computer. So that's how we learned JAWS. That's how I learned Caswell, which is a scanning software. That's how I learned OpenBook. That's how I learned other assistive technology. And the key thing is, this method even today helps me to learn any other thing without, or let me put it in a mild way, saying that with the minimum intervention of instructor. So these self-learning and researching skills has made me. So what happened, once my examination was 1 week away and my computer got crashed, there was some problem. So I didn't find a troubleshooter or system engineer who was able to correct it, who was able to provide me a timely resolution. So then I understood, no, it is not enough. So I should also learn to troubleshoot my computer. Otherwise, I will fail my exam, because failing exam means you have to study another semester, another year, whatever it may be. So that's how I also ventured into the troubleshooting. And as well as I got on, I followed what I call an encyclopedic approach towards learning and knowledge. And I also have a word interdisciplinary approach towards learning and knowledge. So if you find something and if you learn something, there will be roots of some other thing which you think about and which you decide to learn. So that's how I learned.
How did Enable India's training help him to polish his skills which he already had?
When I came to Enable India, and I was surprised to see that Enable India recognized I have something potential and some skills which they were looking for, and they were very happy, and I got an opportunity to brush up those skills in service management training. And particularly two things helped me, and one, I was put into what Enable India calls IT help desk. It was a simulation kind of thing, but it taught me how to use Excel efficiently, and it also taught me the structure and importance of the reporting, and which I am using till today while submitting weekly, monthly and quarterly reports to my manager. And apart from that, it inspired me to go an extra mile, and instead of, I was told to record problems, but I thought my job is not only to record problem, it is also to solve problem. And whatever problems were recorded, and I tried to find a solution for them. I tried to tell the troubleshooter or the technician, whoever comes there, and what was the solution. I was, if not with troubleshooters or technicians, I used to talk with trainers. This was the problem recorded, this is the solution, so, and this will solve this problem. So another thing is, Enable India also understood I come from an academic background. I am not purely technical. Educationally I was not technical, habitually I was a technical guy, and they wanted me to use my academic skills and writing skills as well. So a project was initialized for the newsletter, and initially we called it newsletter, then we called it e-zine. So in other words, it is a kind of e-magazine. We called it Enableizer. We published 3 issues. For some reasons it has been stopped now, but it helped me to write, it helped me to improve my reading skills, enhance my reading skills. It exposed my writing skills. That's what was shown. That's the proper way of saying this. And one other thing about this enabler was I was made an editor of enabler, and coincidentally I was also the editor of my departmental magazine when I was in college. So it was Rainbow, this was enabler. So I was also pushed into a kind of journalistic practice.
What is Habeeb's feeling about trainers being transparent at Enable India? He has a different perception. Let us understand from him.
See, when I saw Enable India's trainer for the first time, and they were very open and transparent, though I felt sometimes that they look an issue from a single perspective rather than a multi perspective, and nevertheless their dedication and their honesty with which they try to sensitize people and which they try to educate people was very fantastic, and it really amazed me. And in fact, this aspect of their personality, or this aspect of the Enable India's culture, has influenced me, and it has provoked me to consider and think, so what happens if I take up this perspective and if I take up this angle. So they all used to talk about sighted perspective and being and try to becoming a try to behaving try to be like a sighted person. So it was very difficult for me to take in, because I haven't seen how sighted perspective would be visually, because I was visually impaired since birth. So it was very difficult to take in, and but I tried. And another aspect which Enable India gave me feedback was in terms of mobility. So it was very much required. And in Cisco, once I get oriented in some premise, I will be able to move around independently. And but here I should say that in terms of mobility, I am not as adventurous as some other visually impaired guys are there. They are very adventurous, and I am a bit bashful to communicate with people in terms of going here and there when I stand up or when I go into the roads, and I am very hesitant to ask so to guide or some help. So this has hindered my moving around, and I usually don't venture alone on roads, but I don't have any problems within the or inside buildings. I can do I can manage myself. So the culture of Enable India and the feedback, and I have taken it very positively, though I didn't like it. But the thing is, again I want to repeat this, and I want to thank and congratulate, and I should give 100% marks for Enable India, and I am telling this from the bottom of my heart. The trainers, the dedication and the honesty which they work, so that makes Enable India's culture very unique, very, very unique indeed.
Self-learning is a key to achieve anything. Knowledge is power. That is very true in Habeeb's case, as he is a conscious learner from each and every possible situation. Exploring and learning on own plays a vital role to grow in the career. This self-learning helped him to do mainstream CCNA and become first visually impaired engineer in India.